James Pledger, Jack Thompson, the Saturday Morning Hangover.
Good morning, San Antonio, and welcome into the Saturday Morning Hangover right here on 1250 AM, 94.5 FM. We are San Antonio Sports Star. I am James Pledger. That is Jack Thompson, and you are tuned into the Hangover without the headache. That's right. We are the Saturday Morning Hangover. And guys, I gotta come out early with this one. I have to come out early with this one. I jumped the gun a little bit on Team USA. I jumped the gun a little bit on Pop.
You're not the only one.
I made a little bit of harsh judgment after two exhibition losses to Nigeria and Australia and an early group play loss to France. It might have been a chemistry thing. It might have been that some of the guys just rolled off the plane.
I think that definitely has to do with it.
But yeah, gold medal, baby.
Yep.
Keldon
Johnson,
the gold medal winner. That is awesome.
And it helped that Kevin Durant played like Kevin Durant.
Yeah,
it definitely helped that Kevin Durant would figure out, like, you know what? No one can stop me out here. What am I doing?
Let me just go score.
Thoughts on that game last night? Because I was comfortable. I was confident. I felt good halfway through that game. Starting getting a little closer at the end. Then Dame missed those two free throws, and I was like, so I guess Dame time doesn't travel across the international time and date line?
Dame had a tough time shooting with that FIBA ball. You could tell the whole time it just seemed off for him. He just could not get the range down. It was weird. I've never seen Dame off like that.
Sure, and he's playing through an abdomen injury, according to Sham Sharani of the Athletic and Stadium. Requires further testing, played throughout the Olympics with an abdominal injury of sorts. So, sure, it's going to be interesting. Vince Trevino on our Facebook Live this morning says, Good morning, Vince, and happy recovery. I know he's resting up, tuning in with his leg elevated as he just underwent a meniscus surgery. So, best thoughts to you from all of us here at the Hangover,
tough.
Vince. Of course, you can watch us live on Facebook Live or our YouTube channel, or just go to sasportstar.com and you could check it out. Drop a comment in along with everybody else, and we'll get to it. But I jumped the gun a little early, but
You're not the only one.
The murmuring of the players, I felt justified. How could it not?
I never bought into that there were murmuring from the players.
There were a lot of credible Shams, Wendy, Woj. Like, these are guys that, when they tweet something, you believe it.
I'm sure murmuring was like one person said something.
All right.
I don't buy into that at all.
All those players have the complete utmost respect for Pop.
You can have respect for somebody and not agree with what they're trying to enforce.
But like
it came out that they were trying to run like the Spurs system. But obviously
you saw that early. You saw them trying to make the extra pass, not looking comfortable instead of just doing what they do.
That's literally FIBA play, though.
It's not like the Spurs system. Look at any team in the FIBA play, and they all make that extra pass for the better shot. It's like way less iso ball. It's not like Pop was trying to implement what the Spurs do. He was trying to implement our guys into FIBA play and get them to play like the rest of the FIBA guys.
Jack says you got an echo, or Rudolph Renee says you got an echo. I think I may have fixed it. I think I may have fixed that. Sorry about that on Facebook and YouTube Live. I think I've rectified the situation, but I get it. And like I said, I jumped the gun on it. They just needed some time together to gel. That was a team that was literally thrown together the week of the exhibition matches and wasn't complete until they got into group play.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that is due to the fact that the NBA season was pushed back due to COVID. These guys had zero time together before actually stepping on the floor.
Yeah, and it's 2 of the 4 most important players throughout the tournament were ones that were playing in the finals all the way up until the Olympics literally started, and that's Drew Holiday and Devin Booker. With Drew Holiday being obviously our prime ball handling defender throughout the whole contest. He was significantly important, and Devin Booker being like the third option in scoring, probably behind Jason Tatum being number 2, and obviously Kevin Durant being 1. So
Kevin Durant was your 1. That is no doubt about that. The amazing stat is in his last 3 Olympic gold medal games that he's played in. 30 points,
yep.
30 points, 29 points.
Yep.
That's impressive. That is a dude who went and wanted to close it out. And you saw it, man. Immediately draped himself in the flag. He was
all about it. He wanted to be the guy on the team, wanted to be the leading scorer.
There's no doubt he was the guy of this team. It wasn't LeBron's team. No. It wasn't Melo's team. This was KD's team.
Yeah, this was KD's team. And I think he's also a big reason, it wasn't our most star-studded Olympic team, but I think if KD hadn't have joined right off the bat, there probably would have been less stars to join.
Here's the thing. We say it's our least talented team as a whole.
Maybe
but I get it. I get it. But at the same time, in this format, do you want the most talented team? Or do you want people that are going to know and fit into their roles?
I feel like
because I know talent
at the highest level, they'll be able to fit into the roles either way.
Because talent is talent, and you want to have the most talent, obviously. But the NBA's players and Team USA is going to have the most amount of talent whenever they step on the floor.
Yeah.
Just because. Mm-hmm. Especially when KD is on the floor.
Yeah.
But you also want guys that you can have 3, you can have 4, but when you're talking about 15 dudes, they're all the best dude on their team.
Yeah.
It's really hard for all of those guys to buy into that same kind of mentality of, all right, I'm not the dude anymore.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't know if it was the injury or if it was, and it's probably a little bit of both, but Dame seemed to have a tough time kind of fitting into that.
Maybe some. I think Dame took a lot of his normal shots. It's just they weren't
I did
falling.
Not see any logo threes from Dame.
Sure, yeah, there were no logo threes, but he probably only takes like a couple, like 2 or 3 of those a game. I'm talking like his normal shots he was getting, and they just weren't falling. And I don't know if that stems back to the injury, the ball, the distance. There's a whole lot of factors that could go into Dame's woes throughout the tournament. But I would say even if we had the 15 best players in the NBA, their basketball IQ level would have been such that we would have figured it out and played like a team, and people would have fit into their roles. And KD probably still would have been the main guy, as he's even in the NBA, the best scorer in the league. So yeah, I think either way, if we would have had like Bron and AD and Steph, just the rest of the top level guys, I feel like it still would have been a like seamless entry into team play. It just maybe less pressure on Kevin Durant.
On the other side of that, we had Salt Lake Summer League play conclude.
Oh yeah.
The Spurs finally cracked 60 points. They would lose, but they finally cracked 60 points. And for me, it's not about wins and losses in Summer League.
It's literally, I just wanted to see 3 players on the court.
And I got to see those players for the most part.
That last game, everyone looked good.
Everybody looked good. Devin Vassell looked good as he led the way with 27 points. And it wasn't just his 27 points to me. There was so much more that Devin Vassell had going on in that game. And what I look at from Devin Vassell is the 27 points. He took 10 threes. He only made 1. That sucked. You would hope he would be better from distance, but it was the 8 rebounds. It was his ability to get to the rim, get his shot. Wieskamp finally looked better. 7 points, He managed to
killed it on the boards that night.
He managed to get 10 boards. Still 0 for 4 from 3. Has he hit a 3 yet? I don't think he's hit a 3
Yeah,
yet.
he's hit a 3.
Okay.
I saw him hit
one.
I saw him hit 1, yeah. And it's just him getting used to the speed of the new game and the distance from 3. I don't think there's anything to look at there as him not being a good shooter. I think he's going to be fine. It's
and
just
the first round pick that we criticized, Joshua Primo.
Baller.
17 points, 3 assists.
He has a great natural feel for the game. He knows when he needs to attack. He knows when he needs to assist his teammates. He knows when to get in a pick and roll set. He knows when to attack in the ISO.
Mm-hmm.
He plays far beyond the age of an 18-year-old.
He does.
He really does.
And Devin Vassell, who led the way with 27 points and looked great last night, was asked about his performance, but he didn't want to talk about it.
Forget that. Can we talk about Primo to come out here and play with that much confidence? And I talked to him and before the game and at halftime, I'm like, bro, just play confident, play your game. And I mean, he showed everybody that he's here and that he's ready. He's young. He's going to make mistakes. He's going to turn the ball over. He's going to mess up. But at the end of the day, he doesn't let that get to him. He keeps coming, making some big in the fourth quarter when we needed him to, hitting tough ones. I mean, he hit a freaking dirt fadeaway. He has so much potential. I don't think he even knows or knows how good he is or how good he can be. And I'm really high on him.
That is Devin Vassell talking about your number 1 pick, Josh Primo, refusing to talk about himself, wanting to praise the Rook. And he mentioned that dirt turnaround. Rudolph Renee said that Primo turnaround is nice.
He had 2 of those. He had one at the buzzer beater, which he kind of just threw up. Like, he made it. That was a great shot. But he had an even, probably, I think, even more impressive one down the stretch. We were down 5 points. He had just turned the ball over. He came back, and he hit a dude with a nasty in and out turnaround jumper.
And this audio, both he and the Primo stuff I'm about to play, is courtesy of Jeff Garcia, Jeff G, Kins 5. That is right, Jeff Garcia of Kins 5 Spurs coverage and the Locked On Spurs podcast, as Primo was asked about his Salt Lake experience so far.
Just trying to put one foot in front of the other. Just building on the last game, trying to have less turnovers. Coming into it, just trying to be more confident. Devin's been working with me, just trying to get me to play free, So we're just trying to get our legs under us, and I think this is a good first step going into Vegas.
And you hear him talk about Devin there, talking to him, helping him get going, and he talked about what Vassell has meant to him so far through Summer League.
He's been great. He's been a great leader on this team. He's been just pushing us all to work harder and then just play free on the offensive end.
And we've seen Primo working both on and off the ball. And he talks about, how he's evolving his game and what that's been taking to both be an on-ball guard and an off-ball guard, and the way that he's worked on getting that done.
It's always been something that I've worked on. Just working with my father in the gym, we always worked on passing as well as shooting and dribbling. But Canada basketball, we work on that a lot, being able to pass with both hands. And then just moving up on through the ranks, I just continue to work on it. So it's something that starts to come natural to you after that.
And, of course, that audio brought to us by Jeff Garcia of Kins 5 Spurs coverage and the Locked On Spurs podcast network. Man, Primo looks good.
He does.
Primo looks really good, really early.
Impressed.
And it's not so much about his shots. Of course, it's about his shots and the way he's playing, but it's the mentality.
Yeah, he's just so confident.
Like, he
knows he belongs.
He's got this it.
He's got a swag to him that, for sure. He's a hooper. He's absolutely a hooper, and I can definitely see what the Spurs saw.
There's some there.
Yeah, there is untapped potential there that through the right reps and coaching can definitely be maximized into a very good NBA player.
And the more we're going to see him, I think the more we're going to like from him.
Oh, yeah.
Salt Lake is done. We did not get to see Keaton Wallace last night. Did not play. Coach's decision.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I was very
he killed
excited
it in the game
to watch
before.
Keaton Wallace play, former Roadrunner, birds up, see if he can get it going. But Las Vegas Summer League starts tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Abai shows up down at the MGM Grand, starts getting ready. It kicks off. Spurs won't play until Monday, but the action starts tomorrow as we'll get to see those young guys on the Rockets with Alperen Sengun and Josh Christensen. And now that the Olympics are over, possibly Gabura, of course, Jalen Green, as they're going to be taking on Cleveland to start things off, and Evan Mobley. That's going to be a fun watch. The Pistons will play at 7:30 tomorrow night, and then the Spurs take the court on Monday as they open up against the Timberwolves. Following that game, which is at 6 o'clock, at 7, you get Golden State and their nice young triumvirate of Kuminga and Moody as they take on Jalen Suggs and the Orlando Magic. There's going to be some good summer league ball going on. Spurs return to action on Tuesday. They're taking on the Bulls. And of course, following that game, we got Rockets Pistons, which Cade and Jalen, that's going to be a fun watch as well. But Spurs Bulls, I bring that up because the Spurs consummated a trade with the Bulls to give them their veritable own big three with Zach LaVine, Vucevic, and now DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan is headed to Chicago. In return, the Spurs get a first-round pick that won't convey until at least 2025.
Yep.
2 seconds next year, the Bulls own, and I believe the Lakers. It's either the Lakers or the Wizards. I can't remember
it's the
which.
Wizards.
But you get the Wizards' second-round pick from the 5-team trade with the Lakers and Wizards. You're getting their second-round pick in that one.
I
think it's the Lakers' second round.
Maybe it is the Lakers.
I think. Regardless.
Got a whole bunch of picks.
You got a whole bunch of second-round picks.
Yeah.
This team currently has 19 players under contract when you include Daquan Jeffries.
Yes.
You get 15 in the regular season. So they have more players. You're bringing in Al-Farouq Aminu. You're bringing in Hutchison from the Wizards. And you're bringing in
Bryn Forbes.
Thaddeus Young. And you've re-signed Bryn Forbes. Of course, you've got Doug McDermott that you also added in free agency. What are your thoughts?
I mean,
what's going on in free agency, Jack?
To me, it looks like a whole bunch of pieces getting ready to be moved.
I get the Forbes McDermott thing because you get a couple of shooters, right? We talked about the lack of three-point shooting on this team. You've addressed it with those two things. I'm okay with McBuckets getting minutes. If Brent Forbes starts blocking the young guys again,
dude.
If Thaddeus Young is taking minutes off Luka Simonic's plate,
okay, that I don't have a nearest problem with.
Al-Farouq Aminu?
No, Aminu should be right behind Bryn and last off the bench. But
sure.
Thaddeus Young needs to play more than what's his name?
Simonic?
Yeah. My ship has sailed on that dude.
I get it, but I just want to see it. I've only seen little glimpses. One game, 10 minutes, next game, not playing for 7. Like, I want to see some consistency to form, because I made a very rash assumption on what happened with Team USA. So
but
I want to
rash.
This is a little rash.
We drafted this dude 3 years ago.
Sure. Is it his fault he's not on the court?
It's got to be somewhat his fault. Everyone else is putting in the work, and everyone else
Devin Vassell's fault? He only averaged 10 minutes last year.
It's not his fault. We have so many players that play his position,
but we don't play Lucas.
Exactly, and there's got to be a reason he can't get on the floor.
Sure. Can I at least see it?
Not if it's not going to conduce to anything good. If he's just going to come out there, can't defend, can't score, why
but
play
we've
him?
seen him score. We know he can
G
score.
League,
We've seen him score at the NBA level too. He had a really good game against Oklahoma City. And then we didn't see him again for a month.
I don't know. I'm not high on this dude. I'm
aware
to the point where we are incredibly lucky that we got Keldon at 29. That may have been the worst draft for the Spurs ever.
You're absolutely right that we're incredibly lucky we got we got Keldon at 29. There's no doubt about that. But here's the thing. We haven't seen Luka. All we've seen is him tear up the G League. We haven't seen him on the NBA floor for more than 5 minutes.
The dude couldn't even make his own nation's Olympic team. He's supposed to be a guy that gets significant minutes in the NBA, and he can't even make his own nation's Olympic team? Like, that right there is a big red flag for me. I don't know where's Luka from? Where's Luka Samanic from?
Serbia?
Nah, I don't think it's Serbia. Because if it was Serbia, like, that might make sense that he didn't make it.
Croatia.
Okay. How many NBA players are currently from Croatia? Probably not a lot. And he had a significant time even getting minutes in the rotation to get there. They have one dude from Croatia in the NBA, Ivica Zubac. One dude that's in the league. And
Bojan Bogdanovic?
I don't think he played, though. I don't think he played in the Olympics.
They're showing stats for him.
Okay, maybe he did. But even they didn't even make it to the big round, so it's not like it matters. No one even really saw them play.
Mario Henziona?
Yeah. Okay. But like you're telling, okay, that's one good NBA guy, one guy who can't even see the floor.
Luka's on the team, 13 minutes a game.
But did they even
average 4.5 points?
Did they even make it to?
Oh, sure. I'm not saying you're talking about Luka being the only dude on that team, along with Bojan.
Like he's an NBA guy supposed to get significant minutes for us, and he can't even do that for his own nation, who doesn't have any good NBA guys.
I mean, he is playing for his national team though, so
13 minutes, 4 points a game. Like, that's what we see with us, and there's a reason for that. That's not just we're obviously not the only ones that see all the holes in his game.
Here's the issue though.
When he spends,
can I at least see it for myself? Because here's the thing: if he's a train wreck, that leads to losses, which leads to the top of the lottery. At least in Houston, I got to see players perform. Some of them outperformed. Some of them underperformed.
All your guys performed.
Not all of them. Not all of them.
Who was a guy on the Rockets last year that you were expecting big minutes out of that did not perform, that was young? Because KPJ killed it. Well, Deshaun Tate, literally no one in the league thought he was going to kill it. Like, Christian Wood, monster.
I liked what I saw of Kenyon Martin Jr.
Kenyon Martin Jr., monster. Like, all your young guys got out there and hooped. Luka gets out there and he looks like a deer in the headlights. And he's been a pro since he was 15. He's been in the league for going on 3 years now. And like, I understand we want to see him, but if he's not earning,
Kyrie Thomas got a lot of minutes he probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, but that was part of your tank.
Exactly. Let's see it.
But
if he improves, if he's awful, you're tanking. You're making my point. Like, sure, it's part of the tank, but embrace it then.
I'm trying to play dudes that are gonna like I want Devin, I want Keldon.
I want them to get minutes too.
Yeah, I don't want.
But Luka's not playing any of their positions.
I guarantee you, Devin and Keldon will be playing the 4. 100%. Guaranteed. Charles Barkley style. That those two will be lining up at the 4.
I know Keldon's lined up at the 4. I'd like to see him play more at the 3.
No, I want him to be strictly the 3.
I have yet to see them put Vassell at the 4.
Yeah, well, because last year our roster was, we had Rudy and DeMar playing the 4 a lot.
Sure.
Now
I know he's got the length, but I I still think he's a little slight to be playing the floor right now.
But I mean, Mikal Bridges plays the 4. He's not much.
He's bigger. He's thicker.
He's got a more NBA body. He's been in the league longer. But what I'm saying is, like, that's what Devin is projecting to be. A 3-4, small 4-3 guy. Like, that's like.
I get that you hate Luka Samanic. Can we at least see it, though? Can we at least see it? Because I made a conclusion about Team USA before giving it time to cook.
Yes, fair.
Can we at least see it?
I'm sure that we will see.
To at least come to a rationale decision. Because I've been all out on Luka too. But at least let me see it. And if it's awful, that just plays into what I want anyway. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. I don't know.
I mean, you're not trying to play for the play-in tournament with this roster, are you?
No. But I think they are.
I know McBuckets is going to play some 4.
Yeah. He will absolutely be playing a lot of 4. And Thad will probably be playing a lot of 4 and small ball 5 too.
He will too. I don't know the direction of this team because it feels like a team that they're trying because they address the 3-point shooting. Like they address some needs.
They did. Absolutely.
But to what extent though?
Not the greatest.
You're hoping that some of these young guys take massive leaps forward this year. Keldon being chief among them. You hope he takes like an incredible
10-point leap in points scored per game.
Yeah, you want him to go from his 13
to 20 plus.
Exactly. That's a big leap for an NBA player, though.
Is it?
It is.
That's 4. That's 3 shots. That's making 3 shots. You got to like the way I looked at it when I was playing basketball, and
you're talking about average. It's not just the shots. You're talking about averaging this over a season.
Okay, but you're trying to average 20 a game for Keldon. You got to break that down into quarters. You break that down into quarters. That's 2 or 3 makes a quarter, which is incredibly easy for a guy like Keldon. You can't think of it as like, oh, I got to get 20 in this whole game. You got to be like, oh, I just got to get 6 in this first quarter. And then I'll get 4 in the second. And then I'll get 5 in the third. You got to break it down like that. And when you look at it like that, with all the extra touches that we're assuming Keldon's going to get.
Everyone should be scoring 20 a game.
No. Not everyone has the ability to score 20 a game.
I mean, it's only like you said, 6 in the first quarter, 4 in the second, 5 each in the third and fourth.
But not everybody has that ability, dude. That's what I'm getting at. And now that Keldon is getting the ball a lot more because we won't have DeMar, that seems imminently possible to me.
I would hope so.
Like 2-3 more shots a quarter. That sounds like that should be written in stone for Keldon.
It should be.
Yeah. So
will it be though?
I can't imagine who else would be taking all the shots.
The ball likes to stick when we run with Derek and DeJounte together.
Well, that's because we've only seen it with also DeMar. I think with them two, it'll be a lot more passing, just them two together and not a third primary ball handler. But I'm still on the side that I want to start Lonnie. I'd much rather start Lonnie at the 2.
Sure.
Go Lonnie, Keldon. No, DJ, Lonnie, Keldon. Probably Thad Young, I would imagine, starts at the 4, and then Jakob. That's what I would imagine our starting lineup would be. Or maybe buckets at the starting 4. Something along those lines.
He is Jack Thompson. You can follow him on Twitter at Jack_Thompson33. I am at I Am Pleasure. This is the Saturday Morning Hangover. When we come back, we have football back in our lives, gentlemen. It wasn't the prettiest of games, but what did we take away from that game? We're going to talk about it next, right here on the Saturday Morning Hangover on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
It's like I blinked and suddenly all my business shifted to e-commerce.
Now, my business hours are whenever my customers need me.
My customers want everything now and faster than ever. It's a whole different world.
Your business is changing. The United States Postal Service is changing with it. We're bringing you fast, reliable shipping nationwide, and we're bringing it right when your customers need it. Let's discover new routes. Visit USPS.com/new routes. The United States Postal Service. Priority, you.
Golfers, it's time to tee it up at the reopening of Edwin Watts. We've weathered the storm, and now we're open. Come visit our newly remodeled store featuring GC quads in every hitting bay. Check out the new arrivals from all the top brands like Ping, TaylorMade, Titleist, and Callaway. Edwin Watts has the largest selection of shoes, bags, balls, apparel, and more in stock. Swing by our newly remodeled store and get custom fit for free today. Edwin Watts is the home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, and shop us online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
Hey, San Antonio Sports Star listeners, this is Michael Kielbasa with Kielbasa Smoked Meats. Thanks to fans like you, you can now buy Kielbasa products just about everywhere. We hope you continue to enjoy our handcrafted, small batch smoked meats because we sure enjoy making them for you. So grab some today and let me know what you think. My number's on the back of every pack. Right by my promise that if it's not the best you've ever tasted, I'll give you your money back. Find Kielbasa at a store near you today.
What are you going to do when your air conditioning breaks? What are you going to do when your plumbing breaks? Well, I'll tell you what I do. I call Service First AC and Plumbing. I've got their number in my phone for an emergency. And I'll tell you what, when your air conditioning breaks or your plumbing's leaking, that is an emergency. When you dial that one touch, you're going to get family-owned and operated service from here in San Antonio for over 14 years. Service First AC and Plumbing is fast, reliable, proactively, and most importantly, I trust them. They've come out to my home and saved me more than once. Service First AC and Plumbing. Put this number in your phone, 210-521-1500. Again, 210-521-1500. Save the number before you need it because you're going to need it. It's not a matter of if, but when. When your AC goes down in your home or your business, you know you need to get it fast. You need to call a first responder, the likes of which that Service First and AC and Plumbing is. The number is 521-1500. I trust them. You should too. They've taken care of me many times. When that emergency comes, there's one number to know. That's Service First AC and Plumbing, 521-1500.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Want to hear something amazing? Discover matches all the cash back you earn on your credit card at the end of your first year, automatically, dollar for dollar, with no limit on how much you can earn. Extra cash? Come on, how amazing is that? In fact, it's even more amazing when you realize all the places where Discover is accepted. 99% of places in the U.S. that take credit cards. So when it comes to Discover, get used to hearing yes more often. Learn more at discover.com/yes. 2021 Nielsen Report. Limitations apply.
Guys, stop putting your love life on hold. U.S. Pharmacy has some exciting news. If you've been wanting to try Viagra or Cialis, now's the perfect time. Call today and receive 90 little blue or little yellow pills for only $119 with free shipping. Why order some low-dose sildenafil from one of those subscription services when we can give you what you want now? Call 800-990-6271 and we'll rush your order discreetly packaged to your door. Been thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? Call U.S. Pharmacy at 800-990-6271 for as little as only $119 for 90 pills. Need your package in a hurry? Call 800-990-6271 and ask about our express shipping option, and we'll rush your order to you as soon as possible. Save money on the little blue or yellow pill you've been wanting to try. Again, 800-990-6271 now. That's 800-990-6271.
Farming demands well-built equipment. Kubota equipment that's proven for over a century. Tractors that are adaptable and versatile. Hay tools backed by a 2-year warranty. Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. And productive SSV skid steers. Visit your local Kubota dealer for a demo today.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
While most water providers do a pretty good job making sure they exceed EPA guidelines, did you know EPA standards for tap water have not been updated in almost 20 years? With growing concerns of our aging infrastructure, more homeowners want to take their water quality into their own hands. That is why you should call Alamo Water Softeners and have them give you a free water analysis. Some chemicals and contaminants are undetectable. Discover the Alamo Water Softeners difference. Go to alamowatersofteners.com. That's alamowatersofteners.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Welcome back into the Saturday morning hangover right here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. I am James Pledger. You can follow me on Twitter at I am Pledger. He is Jack Thompson. Of course, follow him at Jack_Thompson33, or you can watch along and comment on our Facebook and YouTube pages. Just search San Antonio Sports Star and subscribe the way Vince Trevino or Hunter Hitch or Rudolph Renee have as we look at football back in our lives.
Foosball, baby.
We had training camp. We got to see the things there, and we were ready to jump in head first with art, like who's looked good so far, what our concerns were. Now we have a game to back up some of those thoughts and concerns. What were your initial takeaways from that 16-3 loss to Pittsburgh in that opening game?
Initial takeaways. We have no backup QB.
That's what you took away from that.
One of them. One of my takeaways.
I did not.
Yeah,
I thought Garrett Gilbert looked good. He got you into the red zone twice. You came away with 3. There were some penalties on the offensive line. If anything, I came away with offensive line depth is still an issue.
Yeah, definitely offensive line depth. Defense, I think is on its way to making a turnaround. It looks to me. Michael Parsons looked phenomenal. Jabril Cox looked really good coming off.
Forced 3 turnovers. You ended up with 1 takeaway, but you forced 3 fumbles. Like you saw them making turnovers happen.
Yeah, we were making plays. Secondary looks pretty solid. I think Keldon is going to be good. I hope
Steven
to God
Garrett
not.
says Sprint Forbes is starting. Well, he may be if there's another trade in the works. But as we look at that game, though, because I took away the offensive line, there's still some issues up front if you're without Tyron Smith or Zach Martin or Lyle Collins. And while I liked what I saw from Connor Williams at guard, when they tried to move him inside to center, behind Tyler Biotish, I'm not sure they have a center.
Yeah.
That Tyan Secchi got exposed a little bit, and he's supposed to be the swing tackle for you for if something does happen to Tyron or Lyle. And I like Tyan Secchi. He's played well, stepped in for Trent Williams when he was with the Washington football team. He played for Buffalo. Buffalo wanted to resign him, but for the same money, he decided to just come home to Dallas. I'm hoping that gets cleaned up, but he did. Sacks, penalties, he got exposed a little bit when he was in with that starting unit. That was a concern for me.
The offensive line is definitely still a concern for sure.
But outside of that, I see good wide receiver depth.
Oh, yeah.
Rico Dowdle looked good. Is your third running back
Even
behind
the
Tony
other
Pollard
one,
and
Hardy or whatever his
Hardy?
name was. He looked solid too.
I think there is. I think Garrett Gilbert looked good. I think Cooper Rush looked pretty good.
They left me with some
Ben
to be
DiNucci
desired.
is not going to make this team, right?
No.
There's no way Ben DiNucci's on the final roster.
I would think not, no.
Like, if anything, you're going with Cooper and Garrett.
Mm-hmm. I would imagine so.
Keep an eye when cut downs do happen at offensive line and center. The Giants brought in Joe Looney. He then promptly retired.
Yeah.
So they brought in Zach Fulton, who is a former Houston Texan, former Kansas City Chief, and they have brought in more offensive line help for themselves. I think that's something the Cowboys should be looking at as training camp, preseason, and cut downs progress.
Yeah, I'm sure that we will be picking up off of the cut squads for some offensive line depth. I would imagine that that's a no-brainer.
I think, I'm not as down on Garrett Gilbert as you were. I thought he looked good.
I'm not necessarily down on him, but if Dak's down, like, the season's a punt. Like,
well, you got to remember too, he's playing with, for the most part, a backup offensive line. He was playing with backup running backs. He was playing with backup receivers. Like, if he's going into a game and Dak goes down, hopefully it's not like last year where the rest of the team's down too. He's going to have CeeDee Lamb. He's going to have Amari Cooper. He's going to have Michael Gallup. He's going to have Zeke and Tony Pollard. He's going to have a fully functioning offensive line in front of him with Tyler Biotish and Zach Martin and Lyle Collins and hopefully Tyron Smith. Like, if he's got the complementary pieces around him, I think he showed enough with those backups to where I would feel safe running him out with the starting unit if Dak missed a couple of games for whatever reason. Now, if Dak misses the season, there aren't many people that are going to do what Nick Foles did for Philly that year. There aren't many of those people in the league. You look at any team,
of course,
that can go win a Super Bowl with their backup quarterback.
There's probably none. Like, of course.
But in terms of if Dak gets hurt and he's got his full complement around him, I feel pretty confident with Garrett Gilbert after that first exhibition match to feel, yeah, he could get me through a couple of games if Dak rolls an ankle, right?
Yeah, sir. I mean, he made some good plays. He just, I don't know, he left some to be desired for me. We'll see. He certainly, you make a good point that he wasn't getting any reps with the first team squad out there, and it would certainly look a lot different throwing to our number one rated receiver unit. So I agree with you there. It's just he didn't show me any like, I was not wowed by anything.
No. And I don't think, especially when you're talking about backup quarterbacks who, unless it's a rookie, are ever going to wow you to the sense where you're like, all right, if something tragic happens, we're okay. Like, I was
never expecting that, but like maybe
Ben
more
DiNucci could have been that, but he's not.
He's not. Yeah. They just don't leave me with a lot of comfort, you know?
Well, I think if you ever lose your franchise starting quarterback, there's not going to be a lot of comfort on a lot of teams. Like, there are a few teams that could say maybe there's something here. Like, if Tampa Bay goes out in their first preseason game and Tom Brady doesn't play and Kyle Trask comes in and looks good, yeah, you can feel comfortable about that because he's a rookie. You haven't seen him before, and maybe there's something there. But for the most part, you're not dealing with rookies at quarterback behind your starters. You're dealing with seasoned veterans. You're dealing with Tyrod Taylor. You're dealing with Jeff Driscoll. You're dealing with, hopefully Green Bay can feel okay if Jordan Love comes out and balls out this preseason. But there aren't a lot of those quarterbacks that are, not career backups. They get washed through pretty quickly. And the Cowboys are in a spot where they're rookie that should look like maybe he could take a step forward, and you're like, all right, maybe there's something here. The only person on that roster is Ben DiNucci, and what we saw was not that from Ben DiNucci.
Not that at all.
How concerned are you about Dak's injury?
The shoulder?
Yeah.
It's definitely, again, not comforting because as a quarterback, you don't get time during the regular season to rest your arm.
Mm-hmm.
So if your arm's tweaked now and you can't clear it up, it's going to be pretty tough throughout the regular season to get back to 100%. But with that being said, Dak is a ultimately tough dude. I think he's going to be fine. I think he'll shake off the injury and be all right, but it's definitely not comforting. But it makes sense, you're out for almost a year. You've been doing nothing but arm stuff, throwing, working out your arms, all sorts of, flexibility, all that while your leg is rehabbing. And then you come back, you're going through a ton of reps at training camp, and it's, that's just it's natural. What is comforting, though, a little comforting, is that it's not the rotator cuff. It's not inside the shoulder necessarily. It's more his lats underneath the arm. So that's definitely good that it's not anything within his throwing shoulder. But still, you don't want your franchise QB to come back from an injury and already be a little banged up.
I'm really glad you brought up the location of the injury there, because Jay Glazer in the pregame before the Hall of Fame game gave an update on Dak Prescott's injury.
No, they do not. Let's get this straight. They fully expect him to be the starter week 1. However, the injury is actually a different injury than most football players got, more of a baseball injury. In fact, it's kind of under the armpit. The Dallas Cowboys training staff have actually reached out to the Texas Rangers training staff just for a little bit more help from them. But they fully expect him to be good for week 1.
Okay. There's a lot of optimism in that cut, right?
Yeah,
there
definitely.
were a couple of things that really scared me.
That our camp has to go somewhere else for a little help. Don't really like that.
It's under the arm.
Yeah.
Right? It's in the armpit area. So what I did was I initially Google searched muscle under armpit, right? Just to see what I'm dealing with. I found out that muscle is the teres major. I learned about this injury a little over a year ago. And then I heard that they reached out to the Texas Rangers about it. That was another thing that concerned me.
Yeah.
The teres major is the injury that Corey Kluber suffered in his very first outing and his very first inning for the Texas Rangers last year that shut him down all of last year, and he has yet to return from. The teres major, I heard it a couple of more times last year. They were talking about the condensed season, warming up for it, having to, kind of get ready as quickly as they did, and the issues it caused with this. And that's why we're starting to hear about this injury. And when you talk about the arm, especially the throwing arm, and you're talking about repetitive motion and injury, that's always going to at least concern me, right? But Jay Glazer covered it in happiness and feelings, and everybody thinks he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Troy Aikman also said that the Cowboys are downplaying it, but I think when your franchise quarterback is missing the amount of time he's missing, I tend to think it's probably a bit more significant than we have let on. That is a quarterback, and not just a quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, who was at training camp, has a close relationship with Jerry and the team, who's not going to say something off the cuff like that during a broadcast.
Yeah.
And then I hear them reaching out to the Rangers, and I hear about the location of the injury, and I look up what it is. We're going to find out more about this on Tuesday during ESPN San Antonio's injury update with the docs from the TSAOG, because I heard where the muscle was, looked up what the muscle could be under there, and found out which muscle it was. And then initially I now hear that they reached out to the Rangers. And then I think about the injury the Rangers just dealt with that is in that location with Corey Kluber.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden,
are we sure that,
I get a little concerned.
Are we sure that is the injury to that muscle? No, we don't know that for sure, right?
No.
Okay.
We don't know where it is. They have not told us what it is other than his arm sore.
Gotcha.
It's a strain.
So it very well could not even be the teres major.
And rest may help it, but I just looked up muscle under the arm.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
because that's the only information I have to go on.
Mm-hmm.
And you're talking about repetitive motion, arm fatigue. Usually arm fatigue leads to other things within the arm, shoulder, labral area, UCL, when you're talking about a repetitive motion and throwing the football or throwing a baseball. And usually arm fatigue can be offset with rest, but eventually that, like, when has a person ever had, like, oh, he's got elbow discomfort, we're going to let it rest for a little bit, and then like 4 months later you hear, well, ACL or UCL, he's getting Tommy John surgery.
Something's got to give.
Like, he's going to throw in practice still. They're going to try and, I'm sure, manage that as much as they can throughout the season, but he's still going to throw in practice because you got to get your reps in. He's still going to throw 30 to 40 times in a game because, it's the NFL.
Yeah.
So this arm, even with rest, is still going to continue to get exhausted throughout the season. And then let's take into account that this is also a contact sport in which you can fall on top of your arm with it outstretched and do things. So I know they've downplayed the injury throughout camp, throughout everything, but I hear Aikman's comments, and then I heard Jay Glazer describing exactly where it is, and it at least raised a red flag, like, everything's not copacetic in my mind.
Yeah, it doesn't sit well with me whatsoever. I'm not saying that I'm like 100% confident that Dak's going to come in and just be 100% healthy. Like, no. You don't, like you said, as a quarterback in the NFL, you're using your arm every day. You don't get time to rest it and rehab it and let it, like, chill out.
They're trying to steal some in training camp right now.
They're stealing the rest right now because there's none to be had once that first kickoff goes. So it's definitely not far from the best thing and what you want to hear in your franchise QB. But I still have a lot of faith in Dak to be the guy and come be healthy.
All right. Like I said, I don't want to be the glass half full guy, but I heard it and my mind immediately went to a dark place. But like, it did the same thing with Deshaun when he said he wanted out.
Yeah.
But to be fair, Deshaun still wants out. He is Jack Thompson. You can follow him on Twitter at Jack_Thompson33. I am Pledger. You're tuned into the Hangover without the headache. That's right. We are the Saturday morning Hangover. When we come back, man, this is going to be a really, really good month. That and which Iron Giant are you taking? We'll talk about it next, right here on the Saturday morning Hangover on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Emotion. There are few places in the broadcast universe where emotion is so sweet.
Nothing in one to count. Here's the pitch. A high fly ball hit out into left field. Cave going back to the wall. He leaps. It's out of here. Home run for Adolis Garcia.
There's one. On to first. There's two. And there's your ball game.
This is San Antonio Sports Star. ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Can you feel it?
Research shows that people remember radio ads with a booming voice that emphasizes all the main points. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
That part is super important.
Here's one with a booming voice.
I'm emphasizing everything.
Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance.
Like a page with every word highlighted.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Liberty, 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 liberty.
On our first date, we had masks on and kept 6 feet apart. Now we're a lot closer.
Just like Cliff and Deb, thousands of singles over 50 found their perfect match on Silver Singles last year.
I feel like I'm 20 years old again, and I'm pretty sure she feels the same way.
Rediscover the magic of dating with Silver Singles, the exclusive community for singles over 50. Sign up today and receive daily matches you won't want to miss at silversingles.com/radio. silversingles.com/radio.
Stop. Stop living with that awful joint pain and don't let them tell you that surgery is your only option. Hey, it's James Pleasure for San Antonio Sports Star here. Excited to tell you about QC Kinetics right here in Hollywood Park and Westover Hills. QC Kinetics is the leader in biologic therapies, regenerative solutions that can repair and restore damaged tissue in your joints with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain, pain in your hips. Patients here are raving about getting lasting results from QC Kinetics. Call now to learn more at 210-571-0318. If you have chronic joint pain, don't assume the old treatments are the only treatments. Learn more about new biologic therapy options now available here. Restorative, regenerative joint treatments for joint pain. Finally, call the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics at 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318. Get your life back without pain. 210-571-0318.
Guys love shopping at Diamonds Direct because they can always get a bigger, better diamond for less.
We got a higher quality diamond for less money than we looked at any other stores that we went to.
I even shopped down in Mexico, thinking maybe down in the Caribbean it would be better off, and nothing could beat what I found here.
The value and the deal that you can get by cutting out the middleman.
You're certainly getting quality and price, which you don't find elsewhere.
But beyond the value, what guys really love about Diamonds Direct is they make it easy with transparency, education, guidance, and respect for you and your budget.
What I thought was going to be a stressful situation ended up being completely pleasant, enjoyable process from beginning to end.
For all the dudes out there, buying jewelry is difficult and stressful. Diamonds Direct eliminates all that.
If you're looking for zero hassle, zero high-pressure sales techniques, Diamonds Direct is the place to go.
Discover a truly guy-friendly jewelry shopping experience.
I guarantee you that once you walk in these stores, you're not going to go anywhere else.
Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Official jeweler of the Dallas Cowboys at the shops at La Cantera.
Oh.
Logic to get you going?
Oh, I run it.
Oh, man. Welcome back into the Saturday morning hangover on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 945 FM. I had to get to this comment. Rudolph Renee saying that's why you don't use WebMD to diagnose yourself. Trust me. Renee, I am not allowed on WebMD by my friends, so I get it. But I think my fears are warranted when Troy Aikman, who has probably even better access to the Cowboys than does Jay Glazer, the NFL insider. And when he's talking about the Cowboys are downplaying it and it being a bit more significant than they've let on, his words, that scares me.
Yeah, definite red flag coming from Troy Aikman. That is definitely a source
from the source of Troy Aikman, who has better access than anyone to the Cowboys, I would imagine, outside of Jerry Jones. Yeah, that's what initially freaked me, which made me listen to Jay Glazer's audio again and then go be like, okay, so what muscle group is under the armpit that he's talking about, you know? But you're right. I'm not allowed on WebMD, so that's why I can't wait for Tuesday on the Blitz at 6 when we do the ESPN San Antonio injury update with the Sports Institute docs over at TSAOG. I want to ask him.
Yeah,
I want to know.
I want to know too.
But I brought up that August is a huge month, right? It's a great month.
Yes. Great month for nerds, entertainment.
For nerds like me. And I bring that up because as I looked at the month of August, I saw a bunch of things that made me extremely happy. Now, we're all very aware that Marvel's What If is coming this month.
Yes.
It is the next Disney Plus Marvel property, and it looks like it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Starts next week, August 11th. I don't like this midweek thing. Like, I want them to go back to their Friday releases.
Yeah.
That works better for me. It just does. Now I just got to dodge spoilers all week, and I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, I feel that.
Also coming out this week, one of my favorite shows on HBO Max, and probably what I think is the greatest thing that DC is doing right now, Titans Season 3. And if you haven't been watching Titans, it's about the Teen Titans.
I have seen
Dick Grayson,
none
Robin.
of that show.
It's on HBO Max. You got HBO Max?
I do.
The first 2 seasons are already there. Season 3 drops this week.
All right.
And
I'll check
in
it out.
season 3, they're doing the Red Hood storyline.
I'll definitely check it out.
So I'm incredibly excited about that. Drop this week. I'm going to watch it today. Suicide Squad.
I watched it.
I've heard it's the best thing the DC movie universe has done.
Without a doubt.
James Gunn
killed it. Took all the risks and they all paid off.
Idris Elba, like it was. I want to see King Shark. I want to see Sylvester Stallone as King Shark really bad.
Hilarious.
I'm excited about watching that today.
Love Polka Dot Man.
Polka Dot Man?
Love Polka Dot Man.
Because they're bringing in some really obscure ones. I know Polka Dot Man, but he's super obscure Batman villain.
Yeah, yeah, he is. And very good character.
Bloodsport is super obscure as well, but also a really cool character.
Yeah, I mean, he's obscure, but he's one of the few villains that don't have superpowers.
Mm-hmm.
And he almost killed Superman.
Yeah. Kryptonite bullet.
Yep.
And that's straight from the comics.
Yeah. No, this movie is all straight from the comics.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I know Starro's in it, so I'm excited about that.
You will thoroughly enjoy it.
Ted Lasso season 2 starts.
That is
I need to get Apple TV,
my
man.
favorite show now.
I need to get Apple TV because I know I would love
that is
Ted Lasso.
The best show running right now.
I'm very excited about that.
It's so good. Jason Sudeikis is
hilarious.
And I feel like he's not even acting. Like,
I'm really excited about Free Guy.
Free Guy will be the more like trailers,
the more I've seen of it.
Yeah,
it's Taika Waititi, so like
the first trailer I saw, I was like, this movie looks kind of dumb. And then I saw the next one and I was like, okay, there's a little bit more when you peel back that first layer.
Yeah.
Like there's some plot and storyline to this.
And one of the things that I loved about it too was the fact that, have you seen that Deadpool reacts to movie trailers thing with him and Korg?
Yeah.
Where it's kind of like his official introduction. Like I thought the same thing as Deadpool says. Like, Free Guy, I thought this movie came out last year during the pandemic. I was like, me too. I thought I just missed it, but no, the more I've seen of it, the more I'm very excited to see it.
Yeah,
Hard Knocks starts this week. You get your first episode.
I cannot wait for that, man.
And one of my favorite shows, Archer, is back at the end of the month.
Phrasing
is such a great show.
Yeah.
So incredibly well written.
So funny.
The month of August is going to be a good one for us nerds, and it's going to be a lot of fun. He is Jack Thompson. I am James Pledger. You're tuned into the Saturday Morning Hangover. We are your hangover without the headache right here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
O'Reilly. Syntec is back and better than ever at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec is a premium full synthetic motor oil at an affordable price. Right now, get 5 quarts of Syntec full synthetic and a Wix filter for just $31.99. Plus, earn double O Rewards points. Minimize friction, heat, and wear on your engine with Syntec full synthetic motor oil exclusively at
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
For the ones who know that a little late is always too late, and that the clock doesn't stop just because you're missing a part, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry. And our Keep Stock inventory management solutions help ensure you have the right stuff in the right place at exactly the right time. Visit Grainger.com/keepstock to learn more. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Those big wireless companies try to lure you in with a new phone just to lock you into a contract. Not Simple Mobile. If you have a great smartphone you love, you can get a powerful nationwide 5G network without the contract. Just text the word BYOP to 611-611 to see if your phone's compatible. Simple Mobile. Out with the old, in with the simple. Message and data rates may apply. Visit simplemobile.com/privacy policy for privacy policy and the terms and conditions at simplemobile.com/terms and conditions. Compatible 5G capable device and SIM required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. 5G network not available in all areas. 5G upload speeds not yet available.
Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, base is loaded.
This is what it's all about.
And here's the pitch. Oh, a deep drive to center, way back. This could go all the...
And now a message from our sponsor.
Bundle your home and auto with Progressive for great savings and round-the-clock protection. Progressive.
I can't believe it. Did that really just happen?
Folks, you'll never forget where you were when you heard that call.
Progressive. There's never a bad time for great protection. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
If you're thinking about a compact tractor and you want the best, you can afford a Kubota. Hi, I'm John Ewald with Ewald Kubota. Come into one of our 10 locations and check out the Kubota L2501 tractor package deal, which includes a 4-wheel drive tractor with a hydrostatic transmission, a front loader, a rear mower, a box blade, and a trailer, all for one low price. With a deal this good, you can afford a Kubota from Ewald Kubota. Check out our package deals at ewaldkubota.com.
It's summer. That means grilling season. Jason and Rob here for Tri-County Meat Market. Get into one of their 2 locally owned Tri-County Meat Markets for the best meat for your grill. Tri-County has carefully selected certified prime Angus beef cuts, Wagyu, and upper choice, including their own homegrown Wagyu.
Tri-County has everything you need to up your grilling game, from beef, chicken, pork, fajitas, poppers, and more. Stock up on that 5 for $25 Tri-County Meat Market on Ralph Fair Road over on Huebner or online at tricountymeat.com.
One team, one mission. KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. James Pledger, Jack Thompson, the Saturday Morning Hangover.
Good morning, San Antonio, and welcome into the second hour of the Saturday Morning Hangover right here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. We are your hangover without the headache. He is my man, Jack Thompson. You can follow him on Twitter at Jack_Thompson33. I am Pledger. That's Pledger, Pledge of Allegiance with an R on the end. This is a fun week, man. This is a fun week. This is a fun month. We just talked about everything, and you just hit it like, because I was like, man, I'm really excited to see John Cena play Peacemaker. And you're like, he's
probably the best character in the movie.
I'm excited about this today. I really am. I can't wait to go home, work out, and then just go watch this movie.
So funny, dude. It's a great movie. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
NBA free agency in full effect. A little breaking news. All-star guard Jimmy Butler signed a 4-year, $184 extension to stay with the Heat. Of course, Steph Curry staying on a supermax of $215 over 4 years, and Kevin Durant's coming home to 4 years at $198. The reason all these deals seem like they're different money, well, the max is different for Kevin Durant than it is for Steph Curry, mainly because Kevin Durant left Oklahoma City, was not traded anywhere. His bird rights did not transfer. Therefore, he no longer has bird rights, which means since Steph Curry is still in Golden State, his bird rights allow him to get more money than most other supermaxes that do not retain their bird rights, which is why you see people force their way out to get traded so their bird rights go with them rather than just leave in free agency. So the way Kawhi Leonard did, or the way Jimmy Butler did, or Kevin Durant, like, you leave money on the table when you leave your bird rights behind.
Yeah, definitely.
How good did it feel to have football back? I know it was a rough watch, but how good did it feel to have it back?
Really good, man. Very good. We're now, I put it in my friend's group text yesterday. Oh, yeah. We're like a month out from opening kickoff.
Yeah.
That's fantastic news to me. I cannot wait to dive deep into fantasy football. And
yes,
I just am so excited for football season.
I'm also really excited for the Hall of Fame this weekend.
Yeah.
The Hall of Fame is great. And I don't know exactly what your memories are of Jimmy Johnson.
I have none.
See?
I know who he is, of course.
Sure.
But the Jimmy Johnson...
You grew up in that household. You know who he is.
The Jimmy Johnson that I know is
on Fox.
A Fox commentator.
It was rough for a long time. There was a butting of heads. There was so many things that just seemingly... It was the perfect match, and it was a powder keg all at the same time. We got to see a little bit of it during the pregame with Jimmy and Jerry sitting together on stage, being very friendly, which you hadn't got to see a whole lot of.
Yeah.
Those two did not mesh well together because they were both very headstrong and they both wanted the credit for what they were doing. And it was incredible hearing this story on set.
Do you remember 32 years ago, we were riding in your vehicle in Little Rock, Arkansas, 2 days before you bought the Cowboys. And you said, Jimmy, we pull this off, we'll make sports history. And we did. We made sports history.
I'll tell you, I didn't realize before we got to the history that we were going to have a bump or two along the way. But we did have enough sense to know that the Cowboys were so meaningful, especially in the Dallas area. What I never have gotten used to is how meaningful the Cowboys are around the country. But we did say, boy, they're down. If we can get them going back up, then Dallas will go up, and we can go up, and we can ride. And it helped that we got us a quarterback. Oh, just
I'm just glad to see you two together right now. We're all Cowboys fans to be watching this.
And I think Troy summed it up best with, it's just good to see you
For
two
real.
together right now, because these were two guys that, and I
have
goosebumps.
Yeah, I have goosebumps.
Like,
again, had goosebumps watching
because
that live.
I was what? Around 12-ish probably in 92, probably a little younger than that. 12, 13, 14, right in that area. And that was the Cowboys' heyday.
Uh-huh.
That was when the championship started flowing. That's when the talent started being acquired. And both of them wanted singular credit for it. And if they both could have just buried their egos and managed to share the credit the way that they both deserved it, there's no telling how many Super Bowls that team would have won in the 90s. Because they literally won a Super Bowl on the remnants of what Jerry and Jimmy put together. Like, they just cruised to that that third Super Bowl with Barry Switzer because they were just doing the Jimmy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it almost feels like a part of Cowboys history was taken away from them because of these two's massive egos.
That's before my time. I can't really vouch for that. I'll take your word for it.
But how many times have you ever seen them being cordial together in your life?
That's the
This
first
may
I
have
can
been
think
the
of.
first time,
That's
right?
literally the first I can think of.
And I think the fact that they've buried the hatchet is kind of put on full display when they make an announcement pregame.
Mm-hmm.
Asking right now, Jerry, when are you going to put Jimmy in the Ring of Honor?
Well, I think that's fair to say. Shall we do it right here, or shall?
Absolutely.
How's it?
We've got time. We got plenty of time.
Well,
You picked the game. I think we can go.
Yeah.
I think we've got some great days ahead of us.
Yeah.
So we are going to certainly be recognizing what's happening here with the Hall of Fame. But Tex Schramm, who started that Ring of Honor, said, Jerry, keep it kind of limited with people, but make sure it wasn't just about the plays they made. Make sure they contributed to the story of the franchise. Now, it's kind of hard to not recognize this contribution to the story of the franchise.
No doubt. So are we making an announcement here?
Well, we can be if we can. I don't know how we're going to upstage.
No, yeah, you can. Go ahead, make the announcement.
But we'll be in the Ring of Honor.
There we go.
Jerry,
all right. Love it.
Yeah.
You heard it here. I will be there.
While I'm alive.
I mean, that says it all right there from Jimmy Johnson. While I'm alive? because that goes to the animosity that those two shared over the past 32 years.
Yeah.
And we talk about Troy and knowing not just the Cowboys, but especially this part of the Cowboys and the intel that he has. And I think he summed it up perfectly.
It wouldn't have happened. Our successes wouldn't have happened. And every player that was on those teams knows that. Michael, Emmett, and everyone else. It took both of these guys in order for us to achieve. Jimmy couldn't have been the coach that he was had it not been for Jerry and his ownership. And Jerry wouldn't have been the owner that he was had it not been for Jimmy as the head coach. And we were the beneficiaries of that. And I'm just glad to see these two together. It's what we've all been hoping for. And it's a great weekend for Jimmy, and we're honoring him.
Troy kind of feels like, a divorcee's parent, kid, as he's watching his parents kind of get back together. Like, Troy feels like the kid that, has two Christmases and two everything now, and the parents, after decades, are finally getting back together, and he's like, was this so hard?
Yeah.
I mean, it is fantastic that they're finally on the same page again, because like I said, I didn't know how much you knew of Jimmy, the coach of the Cowboys, but he was partly the architect and one of the main reasons that the Cowboys won those 3 Super Bowls in the 90s. He came in and instilled a culture and talent acquisition, and Jerry was the one who was like, you tell me what we need to do, we're going to make that happen. And the fact that the two couldn't get over their own egos for 30 plus years, it just makes you wonder what could have been had any of them had any bit of humility.
Yeah, definitely.
In the 90s. I want to think that this is a happy ending.
Yeah.
And it is a happy ending.
It is. For sure.
And it's going to be even happier when Jimmy eventually goes into that Ring of Honor, when they set that date and it happens. But man, it feels like a missed opportunity as well. It feels like something that the Cowboys and y'all's fan base could be even more insufferable. Like, y'all could have been Tom Brady before Tom Brady. And that's the missed opportunity that feels like, because these two can put their ego aside. And part of me thinks that's going to be the downfall of the Patriots. Bill couldn't put aside his ego with Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And at least compliment him once in a great while.
Agreed,
and it feels like the Patriots are about to head down a very similar path.
It does. It definitely does.
Now, hopefully he strikes gold and Mac Jones is that next dude that can help lead them. They spent a whole bunch of money in free agency, but usually when you spend a whole bunch of money in free agency, it doesn't work out very well.
Doesn't pay dividends.
He is Jack Thompson. You can follow him on Twitter at Jack_Thompson33. I am at I Am Pledger. This is the Saturday Morning Hangover as we look to the San Antonio Spurs offseason. It has been wild. It has been crazy. But is there a method to the madness? We're going to break it down next right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 1250 ESPN AM and 94.5 FM.
Join us this Thursday at Slackers Medical Center to celebrate the launch of San Antonio Sports Star. Our whole crew will be on site battling it out in a special edition of Sports Star Olympics, basketball, beer pong, darts, and you could win cash prizes, Sports Star swag, and John Mayer tickets. It's all going down this Thursday at Slackers Medical Center location starting at 4 with the Blitz, the official San Antonio Sports Star launch party with our friends at Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar. We'll see you out there.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, "Did I have EPI?"
Sponsored by AbbVie.
While most water providers do a pretty good job making sure they exceed EPA guidelines, did you know EPA standards for tap water have not been updated in almost 20 years? With growing concerns of our aging infrastructure, more homeowners want to take their water quality into their own hands. That is why you should call Alamo Water Softeners and have them give you a free water analysis. Some chemicals and contaminants are undetectable. Discover the Alamo Water Softeners difference. Go to alamowatersofteners.com. That's alamowatersofteners.com.
Joe, I've come up with the greatest quarter moon marketing idea. It helps people multitask wherever they work.
I'm sure it's epic.
Hear me out, my supersized, sarcastic superior. I call it the Quarter Moon Office and Shower. It's a hybrid home office, complete with 6 powerful shower heads, Wi-Fi, 3 monitors, a copier, and a commercial-grade coffee machine. Paper clips to clean in your pits. You can have it all.
Folks, as things seem to change every day, several things remain the same. Quarter Moon quality service and fast, affordable help for all those plumbing and air conditioning issues that drive you nuts. One call to 210-651-5899 and we'll send an expert to your home or office and fix the issue fast and a fair price. No gimmicks, no hassle.
Boss, allow me to demonstrate. Ooh, 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 ah! Joe?
Yeah, I'm a little buddy.
This coffee tastes like soap.
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. 210-651-5899. License number M13229 DACLA 000743458.
For the ones going above and beyond. For the ones reaching out, helping out, and lending a hand. For the ones people count on. You can count on Grainger. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry. Backed by 24/7 customer support and specialists to help with hard-to-find products. Because you've got everyone's back. We've got yours. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Napa, we keep things moving. If it has wheels and an engine, we help keep it on the road. And if it's on the road, we have parts for it. And if you need a part, you can get it fast, like same-day pickup or next-day delivery fast. At Napa, when we're not thinking about cars, we're thinking about the people who drive them. Because when it comes to serving you and our community, our motor never quits. That's Napa know-how. Same-day pickup and next-day delivery available at participating stores and on in-stock items only.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
I love my Charmin Super Mega Golden Rose. Gold stash long, it's TP goals, yeah. Charmin's got 6 rows in one. Lasts forever on my buns. Only super mega when I'm cleaning. Charmin's got my booty believing.
Charmin Super Mega Roll is 6 regular rolls in one. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Calling all commissioners. Book your fantasy draft with Twin Peaks and receive the sweetest perks. Commissioners get $50 to Twin Peaks just for hosting with us, and all league members get $5. Free Wi-Fi, draft boards, and stickers upon request. It's all at Twin Peaks.
Welcome back into the Saturday Morning Hangover right here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. I am James Pledger, joined by Jack Thompson. Reminder, you want to win some squala for back to school? Back to school cash. Win $500 for you and $500 for your school or charity in San Antonio Sports Stars Back to School Cash Contest. All you got to do is go to sasportstar.com and register. It's that simple. And you could be getting $1,000. That's $500 for you and $500 for your school or charity. Another way it pays to listen to San Antonio Sports Star. Jack, I need help with things.
What you got for me?
What are the Spurs doing? I get the Primo pick.
Yes.
And I tried to talk you off the ledge that Saturday because I was also very in the moment, not understanding it. We've seen some summer league games. Primo looks like there's an it to him.
Yeah.
There is definitely an it to that kid.
Primo has looked basically as good as anyone else I've seen drafted so far. I mean, Davion Mitchell had an amazing game.
Yeah.
Moses Moody and Kuminga both had really good games. But that last game by Primo was as good as either of those.
Yep.
So that's definitely exciting news.
Sure.
And
I managed to walk you back off that ledge last Saturday. I managed to put some distance between draft night and Saturday, and
it was never Primo. It was just I thought we were in a different direction.
What, when now?
Just, I don't know. I just didn't think I thought we were more win now than we appear to be, for sure. And I just didn't think we were going to take what at the time we all thought was a several-year project.
There are 19 guys on the roster.
Yeah. There's got to be a move coming. Something.
Is there a move coming?
It's either there's a move coming or we're cutting 5 dudes.
So what's that move? Because Lauri Markkanen's still out there, and there was reported interest.
I have no idea what the move is, man.
I'm trying to keep hope alive on the Mark thing.
Because there was both interest for Oubre and Markkanen.
But Oubre's gone.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is both of those players wanted more than we wanted to give them.
And Oubre, to his credit, had to take less than he wanted.
And he did exactly. So has Mark now realized,
Well, the problem with Mark is he's still restricted.
Yes.
So whatever you tender can be matched.
Yes. But it doesn't seem like the Bulls
it doesn't seem like they want
are
to.
like they're trying to outright match them, or it would have already happened. So sure, Mark could still be in play, but at this point it would certainly be a trade because we'd have no more cap space.
Yeah, I think they're down to about $6 million.
Yeah, so to have so many guys and also
it's just
get
amazing
so many
to me
picks.
that they had so much money and now they're down to $6 million with really nothing to show for it.
Nothing to really bat your eyes at, that's for sure.
McBuckets is your signing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and that was one that we wanted for sure.
It is. But when you think about $48 million and the only thing that you really have to show for it is Doug McDermott.
I think we're over or downplaying how good Thaddeus Young is.
He's a good player.
He stepped in last year.
He's a good player.
When they didn't have Voos before they traded for him, Markkanen was hurt. Wendell Carter was also hurt. And he stepped in, was their only big. And he had a great season. I mean, he averaged almost 5 assists a game, 8 rebounds.
He's a good player.
Yeah. So, I think that's a good addition. I really do. I've been high on Thaddeus Young in the league for a long time. Of course, I would have wanted him 5-6 years ago when he was in his mid-20s. But still, I think he's going to be a good addition to the team.
Bryn Forbes is back.
That I don't understand that whatsoever. And I think it is hilarious that the Spurs sprung it on us at about 1 a.m.
Yeah, that was my favorite part of it.
They were like, you know what? Let's hit him with it while everyone's asleep so they can just wake up and see it.
Steven Garrett said Bryn Forbes is starting. Last time we paid him $4 million to start, he leaves to be one as a backup, get paid $2 million. We'll give him a raise.
Bryn Forbes cannot start.
I don't know if he starts, but I could easily see him taking Patty's minutes.
I would hate that.
I'm aware, but as we continue to yearn for the young guys to get more minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thaddeus Young's going to get minutes.
Yeah, but Thaddeus Young will be playing the 4 and the 5. None of our young guys.
Alfred Camino's probably getting minutes.
No, but again, Alfred Camino will be playing the 4 or that's it.
I'm aware. Keldon's going to get his minutes now.
Yes.
Keldon's getting his minutes.
The guys
but he got his minutes last year.
The guys that we added don't seem they're like relief valve guys. Like Doug McDermott isn't a guy that demands the ball to score. He can score off the catch and shoot.
Yes.
Scores off the one dribble pull up.
It's not about the way they score. It's the fact that they're going to be on the floor.
Yeah, but the thing is, our young guys that we want to see get minutes play the 1, 2, and the 3. Doug and Thad will never Doug might play some 3.
Mm-hmm. Doug's going to play some 3.
Yes, but, Keldon can't always be the 3, and Devin, of course, he'll be getting his time at the 3 too, but probably some 2 guard I would see as well. That's what he looked like in the summer league, was a 2 guard.
You've still got Lonnie, DeJounte, Derek.
Well, DeJounte's going to be the head honcho.
Well, I'm aware.
Derek will be second in command, obviously. Lonnie needs to
You got to split those 2 up, right?
I've been on the proponent for doing that for seasons now.
Same.
And it seems like now that we really only have 2 point guards on the team. I mean, Trey Jones, we have him, but I'm not really counting him. He doesn't have a lot of NBA experience.
Mm-hmm.
But in regards to running an offense, running a unit of 5, being the leader, we've got 2 of those guys now in DeJounte and Derek. And I don't think it'll pay dividends to the team to have them both in the starting unit. Like, who's going to run the show in the second one? Who's going to get us into things?
Lonnie?
Who's going to cause us?
Bren?
No, and no. Lonnie has maybe some capability of doing that, but Lonnie is...
Trey?
See, I said Trey maybe, but we haven't seen him do that. So
No.
it's hard to say, he's going to be the guy to do it. I think it should be Derek, and I think a second unit...
I think it should too, but I'm only going off of what I've seen Pop force down our throat.
Yeah, of course.
And the thing he forces down our throat more than anything is vets are going to play heavy minutes. And Derek and DeJounte are going to start. They're going to be on the floor together. That's what Pop has shown me. He's not going to play rookies, and that carried over into the Olympics. You saw the fact that Keldon didn't get any run there, so it was just like being in San Antonio for him.
Did we expect him to get a lot of run?
No, but it's still funny to me that even overseas, Pop's style translates to vets get minutes.
Bro, we got 10 All-Stars ahead of him.
But how's
on the roster?
I think Keldon's about to be an all-star.
Hopefully, but he ain't yet. Everyone else on that roster is.
I'm trying to see, yes, Lonnie's finally going to get his minutes. Luka's going to get some minutes. Even if they're backup minutes, I don't care. Just some minutes just to know what's there.
Yeah.
DeJounte and Derek obviously are already getting their minutes, as are Keldon, but Devin, maybe he's finally going to get his minutes. Well, Primo?
I would love the second unit to be run by Derek, Devin, and Primo.
But you bring in vets, you bring in Brem Forbes, you bring in Thaddeus Young, you bring in Alfred Camino, you bring in Doug McDermott. All of a sudden, there are these obstacles in the way.
I don't see those as obstacles, though.
But
because none of our young guys play those positions.
One of our young guys does.
Luka.
And Bren is also blocking.
See, Bren is the one signing that is a young guy blocker.
But I know that you're down on Luka, but I want to see him fail before I write him off completely.
How long do we give him, though?
I don't know. How long is Pop going to bury him? We still go through it with Lonnie from time to time. There are times where Lonnie has a great game, and then he's got like 10 minutes the next day. Like, we've seen this as early as this season.
Yes, but this season was different in the fact that we were a completely vet-filled team. Like, we had so many, like DeMar, Rudy, Patty, like like you said before, Pop has always been a vet guy. And now Lonnie's the vet. Lonnie's a vet guard. Derek's a vet guard. DeJounte's a vet guard. Like, those guys I feel are going to get the minutes and the shots and the touches that they need.
Steven Garrett on our YouTube channel says, if you leave your job and get paid less, then your old job wants you back for more money. Are you doing more or less work?
I don't really.
All right. So you leave your job.
Yes.
You take less.
And he did nothing all season.
And you're in Milwaukee. I won't say
some regular
nothing.
season. He did some stuff.
But you leave your job, you take less and go play in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Now your old job wants you back and is willing to pay you more. Are you expecting to do more or less than you did before?
I mean, I would assume that Bryn thinks that he's going into more.
I would think so. I would assume that's a promise that they made. Otherwise, why wouldn't he have signed somewhere else if he's just going to be a veteran mentor?
I think also part of it, is he really loves the Spurs. I think he likes being part of our organization for sure. But it definitely.
Yeah, but players want to play. You know that.
Yeah, of course. They want to play. And it seems like,
it's just a weird signing that doesn't add up
super weird
to a youth movement when you also bring in a couple of other pieces that also block the one youth that we just don't know what it is at this point.
And I think.
And if you want to play Devin at the 4, like you say, Thaddeus Young, Alfred Camino, these are players that block that as well.
But I see Thaddeus Young playing the small ball
Drew
5
Eubanks
quite a bit. Drew Eubanks
he's
will
extended his
never
game.
Play the 4. He will never be the 4. So don't
He's
worry.
Extending his range.
Yeah, a lot of people said that. Pirtle said he was working on his free throw last season too. We saw how much dividends that paid. So I don't buy into.
I'm just saying the off-season moves don't equate to a youth movement to me. It doesn't feel like it.
It does to me, though.
It did, but after free agency, it doesn't.
It does to me. I see a very valuable vet, great pick and roll guy, ultimate glue guy.
I like that Young.
And he's not going to be a guy that's going to park himself in the low post and be like, throw me the ball.
I like Thad Young. Don't get it twisted.
But I just don't see how he is taking away from our youth guards. I think he's going to help them.
Not the guards. It's not about the guards.
Get over Luka Sandwich.
Dude, I dubbed him Sandwich, so
we've got to get past this soggy sandwich,
I
man.
just want to know.
I know. I feel like I already know.
You've been in his workouts?
Dude, for a guy who's been in the NBA for 3 years now, with a team who's supposed to be top tier developmental when it comes to young prospects.
Yes, I just want to see it. But I want to see the failure.
I think the failure.
You shoved Chemezi Metu down my throat enough times. Why can't I see Luka Sandwich?
Because Chemezi played the 5.
But we don't have any 4s. But you went out and got some.
And that doesn't tell you right there that Luka ain't it. Like 13 minutes, 4 points for the Croatian national team. You think that's
4.5?
You think that's going to equate to something in the NBA?
I don't know.
I can tell you right now that
fail,
no.
Though. I want to see it fail. Or come out and tell me it's a failure. Tell me you wasted the 19th pick.
When would the Spurs ever do that?
One of the two. Either show me he's a failure or tell me he's a failure.
I'm sure you'll get to see this year.
How? McBuckets? Alfred Aminu,
to get over
Thaddeus Young.
Bro, I don't think Aminu is going to be getting a lot of minutes. He's barely played in the last several seasons. You can't roll into a season with nothing but 20-year-olds.
Why not?
You got to have look at what the Bucks, not the Bucks, that the Suns just did. Cam Johnson, 20-year-old.
No.
Devin Booker, 20-year-old. Michael Bridges, 20-year-old. DeAndre Ayton, 20-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Payne, 20-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
But the season before, they don't even make the playoffs. You add 2 vets.
Yes.
And that changes the whole fabric of the young core.
The problem is those 20-year-olds all got burned for entire seasons leading up to, okay, it's time to add the vets. The Spurs aren't giving the young guys the run that the Suns gave them.
I know, and that's going to happen this year.
Then why add the vets early?
What do you... The vets we got are 3s and 4s. I know you want to see Luka, but get Luka out of your head. The prospects for the San Antonio Spurs moving forward are not Luka Samanic. It's DeJounte. It's Keldon. It's Devin.
Is it DeJounte?
In my mind, yeah.
I know. But you say there's got to be a move coming with 19 players on the roster.
I mean,
they're outside of Keldon, there are a few assets as valuable as that of a DeJounte Murray.
Yes, and I'm not saying that DeJounte can't be moved. You can move anybody for the right price, and I would assume that we would get another young star. So it's youth movement, man.
Esteban Ramon says, play Luka only for the fact that it helps us climb higher in the lottery in 2022. And you're on this train, so I don't know why you're not more on board with this idea with me of, what are we going to call it? It can't be tanking for Paolo.
God, I want him.
Plummeting for Paolo?
Yeah. I mean, I
know you want him, but the only way to do this is to find out that Luka is awful by playing him. Winning a bunch of middling games isn't going to help you get to the top of the draft lottery.
I don't think that adding Thaddeus Young and Doug McBuckets are going to help us win a lot of middling games. I think they're just going to be able to ease the pressure off of our young guards with a great shooter in the corner who can score off of just one dribble.
McBucket.
And Thad Young, who is a great pick and roll guy, great defender, 3, 4, and 5. I mean, I just don't see how these moves don't condone to a youth movement. I just don't see how it doesn't.
Maybe part of it is I just really want to know.
You just wanted Markkanen is what it boils down to.
No, because I do. Don't get me wrong, I do. But at the same time, I just want to know. I want to know. I want the Spurs to either admit or show us that Luka was an abject failure. One of the two. I want them to admit it either by showing us or by telling us. And they're never going to tell us, so I want them to show us.
I just hope Spurs fans keep the same energy when the Spurs are losing a bunch of games. Because everyone's all for the process right now. But once those L's start piling up, we'll see where Spurs fans reside.
And this is going to be a fun draft if you can get into the top 2. Because Axel Miller,
far-fetched.
Axel J. Miller says, tank for Chet, tank for Chet, tank for Chet. And I love me some Chet Holmgren.
I'm taking Paolo over Chet, but yeah, Chet is a definite beast.
Here's the thing. Get into the top 2. It doesn't matter. Whichever one falls to you, falls to you.
The chances of us getting into the top 2 are very, 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 very slim. Because there's no way the Spurs are going to just outright tank and lose enough games like that.
I am so sick of that notion of the Spurs would never tank. I am absolutely beside myself mad with every Spurs fan. That's not what this. That is exactly what this organization did to get Tim Duncan, which started this whole thing.
Of course, but we have since become a different dynasty than we were before.
Yes, and that dynasty is over and in the rafters.
But
you have to start over, and the only way to start over is by doing what you did in the first place.
On the tank train, have been for seasons. I'm on the tank train, but we've obviously seen that the Spurs aren't just going to go outright and lose a bunch of games. It's not our organization. It's not how we carry ourselves.
Especially when Pop has a chance to pass Nelson.
It's not what we do. We're going to lose a bunch of games just because we got a bunch of young guys that don't quite know how to win a bunch of NBA games. But we're not just going to suck. We're not just going to outright suck and just on purpose lose a bunch of games like the Pistons did, to get to number one. We're just not going to do that. It just doesn't. That's not the makeup of our organization, which sucks. That's what we need to get back to where we are.
It's so funny, though, because it's the makeup that got the organization to where it is. It is literally the first step you had to take it as an organization was to bottom it out and to hold a healthy David Robinson off the court. You can't tell me this organization can't and won't do it because they've done it. And it's the reason they were in the situation they were in. So why not, now that it's all over, it's all gone, do it again? I don't get it. I just don't get it. He is Jack Thompson. You can follow him on Twitter at Jack_Thompson33, or you can tweet at me at IamPledger, or just comment along in the Facebook or YouTube. Rudolph Renee says, but we only sucked for one season. Exactly. Because when you land that player with the pieces that are around you, you're going to be good really fast. Look at the pieces that are on this team. If you insert one generational player, all of a sudden this team's a lot better. Same way they were in 99.
I am the first person who introduced you to Paolo Banchero and told you we needed to tank for this guy.
Yeah.
So I don't know why
I was on the Chet train before the Paolo train, but yeah, I'm in Paolo. Let's do it.
I don't understand why you're telling me all this tank stuff when I am captain of the tank team, bro. I've been literally all last year I was telling I wanted to tank.
We wanted it.
But we've seen that's not what we're going to do.
Just like we've seen, they're not going to play the young guys.
Exactly. It's just not what we're going to do. So why would you expect it to be different next year?
Because I want to see progress, and we can't see progress spinning our wheels in the same spin. You just can't. When you spin when you're spinning your legs, walking on a treadmill, you're not going anywhere, and that's what it feels like the Spurs are about to be on, a treadmill of mediocrity.
No, we're gonna be in the lottery. I don't think we're gonna be top 5, but we will definitely be. Well, we could be top 5. I don't think we'll be 1 or 2 unless the lottery odds fall in our favor. But I just don't think we're gonna.
The lottery odds changed. All you gotta do is have one of the worst 4 records for a 25% chance at getting the top pick. We saw it happen. Houston had the worst record.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit had the best pick.
Yeah. I certainly think we will be in the bottom 10 teams record-wise in the league. Where that is, 4, 5, 1, 2, I don't know. We will definitely just outright lose enough games because the youth movement will have begun. We'll be playing all these young guys that don't necessarily know how to win games down the stretch. And that's just what the tank will look like. But it's not going to be us just losing, apparently.
Even Garrett, captain of the tank team, start Luka. Esteban Ramon, how about Imani Bates? Which that's an interesting thing because he is reclassifying to get himself in faster. So you talk about Paolo Banchero.
I think
we talk about Chet Holmgren. Imani Bates could be a part of this.
I don't think. I feel like Imani's going to go to college.
He's reclassifying. And the G League's an option, he says.
The G League is one of his options, yes. But I just feel like...
what is it? What is it? Ohio State, Texas, and G League?
No, Texas fell out of that.
Texas fell out?
It's Michigan State, Memphis, Miami, and G League. And I think he was already classified to Michigan State.
See?
And now with the NIL rules, he's going to make way more than he would off of a G League contract by going to college.
To me, though, G League just feels it gets him where he wants to be faster, especially reclassifying.
I don't know
if it does. You can sign with an agent so you could get your money faster.
What about Cade? Cade was the top, far and away the top player. Decided to go to college, built an amazing brand. Now everyone in the nation knows who he is. People are just figuring out who Jalen Green and Jonathan Kuminga are.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a basketball casual, you probably had no idea what the G League Ignite was. But I guarantee you saw highlights on ESPN of Cade Cunningham.
Mm-hmm.
So there is something to be said about going to college and building your brand there on a national spotlight. And I just think Imani is already a national guy. Like everyone knows who he is. So I don't know. I see the college route being his.
He is Jack Thompson. I am James Pledger. This is the Saturday Morning Hangover right here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It's that time. Buses, school zone, study hall, and the classroom. It's back to school. And to make it special, you have the chance to win $1,000 in San Antonio Sports Star's back to school giveaway. $500 for you and $500 to donate to your school. Register now at sasportstar.com. Powered by Aguero's Automotive Paint and Supplies. Good luck from San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Join us this Thursday at Slackers Medical Center to celebrate the launch of San Antonio Sports Star. Our whole crew will be on site battling it out in a special edition of Sports Star Olympics, basketball, beer pong, darts, and you could win cash prizes, Sports Star swag, and John Mayer tickets. It's all going down this Thursday at Slackers Medical Center location starting at 4 with the Blitz, the official San Antonio Sports Star launch party with our friends at Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar. We'll see you out there.
Want to hear something amazing? Discover matches all the cash back you earn on your credit card at the end of your first year, automatically, dollar for dollar, with no limit on how much you can earn. Extra cash? Come on, how amazing is that? In fact, it's even more amazing when you realize all the places where Discover is accepted. 99% of places in the U.S. that take credit cards. So when it comes to Discover, get used to hearing yes more often. Learn more at discover.com/yes. 2021 Nielsen Report. Limitations apply.
While most water providers do a pretty good job making sure they exceed EPA guidelines, did you know EPA standards for tap water have not been updated in almost 20 years? With growing concerns of our aging infrastructure, more homeowners want to take their water quality into their own hands. That is why you should call Alamo Water Softeners and have them give you a free water analysis. Some chemicals and contaminants are undetectable. Discover the Alamo Water Softeners difference. Go to alamowatersofteners.com. That's alamowatersofteners.com.
At CW, we get that a cyborg assistant won't make your employees more productive from home.
Please, call me Brian. I can vacuum your dog.
That's great. But at CDW, we can design a productivity solution with Lenovo devices that offer fast, reliable connectivity to help your people manage their workloads the right way.
Can I have a human hug?
No. For technology that moves you forward, trust Lenovo and IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Learn more at cdw.com/Lenovo client.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
Welcome back into the Saturday Morning Hangover right here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. I am James Pledger. He is Jack Thompson. Don't forget this weekend, catch the post up. Brandon Medina's out, but Jack and myself will be breaking down all the hoops news from this past week, including the Summer League, the upcoming Las Vegas Summer League, NBA free agency, and so much more. And of course, some dope colorways that are coming out. Oh God, those colorways, I want them so bad.
Good heat coming out.
Oh man. So what are you looking forward to this weekend? This is our final weekend without football for a while as we get ready to crash into the rest of the NFL preseason next week with Thursday games and weekend games and getting us ready for the season. Fantasy drafts coming up.
Definitely very ready for fantasy drafts. As far as this weekend, I mean, it's not a lot of sports going on besides the Olympics, but even then,
Olympics wrap up.
A lot of the main events are already finishing up.
Olympics will come to a conclusion this weekend as we currently, as of last night after Team USA's win, the gold medal got us within 5. Apparently,
also our women's
4x100 or 4.
Today.
Yep. China still leads, 38 golds.
Yeah, but their golds are in like jiu-jitsu and ping pong.
I'm aware.
And synchronized diving.
Doesn't matter how you got them; they've just got more.
Exactly, but you know,
we got 36. We're 2 back. We
field.
closed the gap from 5 to 2 going into the final weekend. Way ahead in the overall medal count, 108 to 87. But Team USA Baseball lost us a chance at a gold that would have closed the gap even further. Fell to Japan in the finals of the baseball. So I don't know. I as ugly American, I just want to see USA win the overall medals.
Yeah.
And the gold medals.
Of course.
That's just what I want this weekend. And now I'm going to be watching, the rowing and all these other cool things because I just want to see if we can overtake China.
I think we'll get it done.
You think we'll get it done?
Yeah.
He is Jack Thompson. You can follow him on Twitter at Jack_Thompson33. I am at I am Pledger. This has been the Saturday Morning Hangover. Hang loose, have fun, and most importantly, stay cool, guys.
Bye, guys. O'Reilly.
Syntec is back and better than ever at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec is a